Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to Tony the Technician channel, and today I'm going to be going over and reviewing a product sent to me by Ancel. It is their PB100, which is a vehicle circuit probe, very commonly found in the automotive field. A very popular brand is Power Probe, and I do have a Power Probe, but it's a very simple Power Probe. I'll show you it compared to the Ancel PB100, and I'll give you the information on that, as well as I'll do a few demonstrations applying power to an LED bulb, testing fuses, and I'll go over different situations where you could find this helpful as well. But you also have to be very careful with this product as well. You need to know what you're doing, otherwise you could actually do harm to your vehicle. So stay tuned for that, and I really hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so very quickly we're gonna do a unboxing. This is what it comes in, PB100 by Ancel, vehicle circuit probe. And then you get some information on the back as well. And this is going to range anywhere from $60 to $80 depending on where you find it. I'll try and link it down in the description as well. And it comes in this nice little blow molded case with plastic latches to keep it organized and everything. You have foam on the inside. You also have your instruction manual, which if you're not familiar with this or haven't really used these all that often, you do want to read through this just so you know how to properly use it. Now, don't get overwhelmed by everything in here. Obviously, first off, you have the probe itself, and then this is just simply an extension cord for this. This alone is good for most vehicles. You can reach from front to rear, but if you're doing a lot of work on, longer vehicles or anything like that, you do have more to run around with. Then you have your connector, which connects here. They do have it shaped differently, so your negative goes to the right side and your positive to the other. And then you also have the connector for your cigarette outlet in your car. Only use this if you absolutely have to. It's best to just use this, connect straight to the battery for a better connection. But that's it that comes with this. As far as the probe itself, the tip will be located in the rear, and you just simply pull it out and insert it into the top. It does have two LED lights here, monitor, your switch, and your menu button, and I'll get into all that once we get it plugged in. But in order to connect this, you just simply connect it just like that, and you're good to go. Now, this is the power probe that I have, and it is simply just your basic power probe. So what's nice about this Ancel is it has the screen, and it's very well built. So that's just kind of a really good deal on this, because for $60 to $80, it's a really good price. It's going to be cheaper than most of your multimeters. Now, this isn't a multimeter. This does show voltage in both DC and AC. It also does ohms or resistance, as well as diode testing and stuff like that. But obviously you can do more with a multimeter. But this has different features, such as you're able to apply ground and power to a circuit, as well as test resistance. But what's nice is the up is going to be positive, down is going to be negative, and I'll show you how to do all of that. But one thing when using this, you need to be very careful. When you're on a circuit, you need to be careful, because you don't want to apply power to something that shouldn't have power, or apply power to the wrong side of the circuit, or apply ground to the wrong side of the circuit, or before a load, such, things like that, because then you could damage the ECM or that circuit itself. You just need to be very careful and make sure that you're applying power where power needs to be and ground where it needs to be. But I'll get into all that as I display it to you on the car. So let's get into that. Okay, so to hook this up, it's very simple. You have a lot of cord here. Then you also have a ground strap here as well. So you just simply positive to positive, negative to negative. There you go. You can see it turns on Ancel, and then you see 0 volts here. Let me see if I can get you a better view. And then by selecting this orange button, you can scroll through the menu. Here you're on DC volts, and then here is alternating. If you're going to test, like, well, there are certain things on a car that's alternating current, but it's not common. So majority of the time you're going to be using direct current. And then here is your ohms or resistance for testing resistance. And then here is actually a diode tester, which I have never messed with and don't plan on it. But if you are familiar with diodes, that is something you could do. And then back to volts. So it's great for testing circuits such as fuses to make sure that you're getting power and ground to a circuit. Here I'm getting 12.5 volts and 12.5 volts on the other side of the fuse. So there it's showing that you have power going through the fuse isn't blown. The great thing about this is you can test all different parts of the circuit, maybe the wiring after a relay or before a relay, testing to make sure the relay is good. Let's say the fan, you could disconnect the wiring from the fan, test the fan itself. You can apply power. You would simply take this ground strap, apply it to the ground side of the fan, and then apply power with the tip by pushing the up arrow on the other side of the, or the other post on the fan. You would apply power, and if the fan turns on, then you know the fan is good, but somewhere in the wiring is bad. That's another reason the resistance would come in handy, because then if everything was working, let's say you check voltage at a certain point and you're getting low voltage. Well, to me, that could be the possibility of high resistance. So then you could go through the circuit and determine where that high resistance is at. Is it on the portion of the wiring after the relay, before the relay? And then you could simply just replace that portion of the wiring and see if your voltage goes back up to what it should be. So that's really nice. But now I'm going to display kind of applying power to this LED bulb that I have here. Now this side is going to be the ground, and then you got your power on the bottom. So I'm just going to simply take this alligator clip and I'm going to touch it to the side, and then I'm going to push up on the probe in order to apply power to the tip. But first, go back to volts DC. Simply touch the side, and then I can touch the bottom, and if you're not touching the trigger on the probe, it's not going to apply power. As soon as you push up, it applies 12 point, whatever battery voltage is. So I'm applying 12 volts right now. Then you could also do, the ground side. If it already had power going to it, I could supply a ground to it. So it's another great thing. As you can tell, the LEDs are on, so if you're working in a tight spot or anything, or in the dark, you do have a flashlight on it, so that's really nice. Very simple product, very easy to use. You just need to make sure that you're using it correctly, positive to where positive should be, a ground to where ground should be, and it's great for testing those things. So if you haven't used one of these and you're trying to fix your own problems before taking it to a mechanic, $60 to $80 is a really good price for this product, and I'm happy with it. I'll actually probably end up selling my power probe and just keeping this one around. So simple use, and like I said, there's a lot more to it, such as the ohms and diode if you're familiar with it. But that's it. Let me know what you guys think. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.